Hey folks, so I have already taught about what is machine learning and what are different types of machine learning. So today we go on to learn what is linear regression. So in machine learning, we give the data as I have already told you, and we get some sort of output, or you can say the predicted output. So whatever the machine does inside it, the basic thing it does is gives you a function which we call a hypothesis depending on the data that you enter. What is linear regression? Now, when this function gives you an output of a function which is related as a linear to your data, that we call a linear regression. So you can see the definition over here, that it's the most basic form of machine learning, and the algorithm, which means that it is usually when we are required to predict continuous value. That's what its regression is. It if you assume that your x is your data and y is the output, then when the relation between your input and the output, or you can say the dependent variable and the independent variable, is sort of a linear in nature, then this regression model will be used. This linear regression model will be used. So how does it work basically? So we assume that there are some dependent variables, more than one dependent variables, like x1, sorry, independent variables are x1, x2 and x3. So there is a single dependent variable, the output y you are getting. So we assume that there is a house, the pricing of which increases due to the number of bedrooms, number of semi-furnished furnitures, and also on the how big the room is. So there are three uh, independent variables upon which the dependent variable, that is the price, depends. Now B is similar. This is the y-intercept of the line. So what does happen when you give such a function or hypothesis? It predicts you with a straight line. Y is equals to mx plus c. It's a straight line. It predicts you a straight line into your data. These are the data. But dot dot dot. All the dots represents your data, and it shows a line so such that have a same distance from your data. And now when you put some other dots over here, it will just extend this line, and no matter whatever your dots are, if the training data is well trained, then it will just extend it to some more further line, and you further this line will further extend, and you can find that okay, this is giving you a significant correct output. So this is what linear regression is. How it works? Just as simple as that, solving an equation of two simultaneous equation. How we solve it? You get two equations, you get some values, you put it, you find y is equals to x. What if for two equation you need two values? What if I give you three? What if I give you four? So it means the more number of values I give you, the more easy it becomes for you. So is the case for this. The more data you supply, the more better result you will get. So it's just putting m1, m2 and m3 are the known thing. Sorry, are the things that we have to find. X1, x2 and x3 are the known things. So when you go on to put x1, x2, x3, the number of data, each data will contain x1, x2 and x3 for it. So that's the number of data it go on to put. You have already, there is a, in the training data there is already a y. Train data is that complete data. You have the price, you have what the things are related on that. uh, so you have both dependent variable and also the independent variables. So what the machine is doing, machine is just putting x1, x2 and x3 and trying to figure out like how we can get to y, what should be the value of m1, so that we could get a similar sort of output. So it tries to figure out some way so that he could get m1, m2 and m3. And once he has solved this m2 m1, m2 and m3, once this equation has been solved, what it does is simply, when next time you give an x1, x2 and x3 of different than what you have trained that data for, it will simply put those m1, m2 and m3 and b what it has found from the previous data, and it will tell you the output. No matter you think the output is correct or not, it depends on how your data was trained, but it will give you the output on only that thing. That's how linear regression works. You could just make it more easy to understand, like if there is a single parameter, like if it only depends on the how big your room is, the price of the house depend only on that, yani ki only on x. So y is equals to mx plus b. So if I am giving you a good number of values of x and y, so you start putting on y and x, and you are able to find m and b. More sort of similar, you are not getting exact m and b, but very good m and b you are able to find that. So that once again, when I give you a simpler testing data in which I don't have the I don't have the y, yani ki dependent variable, in that case, with the help of m and b, you get to that y and you tell this will be the pricing of the house. So whatever y you are getting, we say it's the predicted y. That's what you're predicting, what's your model is predicting. So that's what the predicted y is. So you basically give the data, it forms a function over here, and that function gives you this y is equals to mx plus b. Using this, you will be able to plot the line. We will try to show how the line is getting plotted in the next video, and I will show you how the practical application of it, and then we will go on to discuss what could be the way he is trying to have the best fit line, and I will have an approach typically different from what others you would have still thought of. Thank you for watching the video till this end.